In this video, we're going to be looking at some staging and sets for live streaming.
Be seen, heard, and better understood through virtual gatherings. Elevate your message with corporate streams.
There are a wide variety of choices that create the canvas for an event, so picking the proper setting or location for the event is pivotal. In this video, we'll describe some of the most popular settings along with some other elements that make up staging. We'll also dive into some fundamental concepts to enhance the look and feel of your live stream. Let's look at a few locations, the first one being a soundstage or a studio. This location is often the most ideal for a live stream due to the amount of control you have over the environment. Sound stages have great power options for lighting and equipment, plus soundproofing to help prevent unwanted noise. Not to mention, they also have ample space to maximize any setup or design. A traditional stage environment typically allows for an in-person audience, which is excellent for a hybrid event. There is also a good chance that a sound system is already there, which is also ideal. However, keep in mind that these spaces tend to have echoes due to their acoustic properties, and there could be background noise from the live audience. It is also important to note that not all stages have the space designed for extra technicians that are usually needed for live streaming. A conference room is lovely for those office-type announcements and streams. While better than a small office, a conference room usually has extra furniture that might need to be removed for shooting. Be sure to scope out the space prior to your event day so that you can plan accordingly. Most conference rooms are decent for a small crew depending on the size of the conference room, but this will be a bit of a compromise compared to the previously mentioned locations. Here's a few thoughts for all of our locations. The setup time for a live stream is typically between 4 and 10 hours, depending on how complicated the setup is. Try to keep your live stream space as isolated as possible, even during the setup. Having a closed set keeps everybody safe. It also gives your technicians the time to dial in their equipment in a quiet and calm atmosphere. Carpets and wall panels absorb sound, which is typically better for live streaming. Hard surfaces like tile, wood floors, hard concrete walls, and metal will often reflect the sound and will create a room reverb. After your live stream is finished, give your crew ample time to break down the gear and cables. Teardown typically takes about half the amount of time it took for you to set up, but this is of course dependent on the crew and the project. Let's talk about stage design. Now that the location has been selected for your live stream, the next two sections will address some of the theoretical elements that subconsciously influence the design. Keep in mind, words like image, background, screen, or set might be used interchangeably within this next section, though they all refer to the same idea of using stage design as a presence. Similarly, subject, presenters, or communicators are terms that we could use to convey people on camera during a live stream. Contrast, the bright portion of your image compared to the darkest. Contrast is perceived as visibly interesting to your audience and helps separate the presenters from the background, the brightest part of your screen. Your eyes are naturally drawn to the brightest portion of an image, so make sure your presenter is illuminated well and keep in mind where the other light sources might be. Light bulbs, windows, and other bright objects in the screen will detract from the subject that we're trying to pay attention to. Textures versus solids. Textures or patterns can add visual interest to your image. Choosing textures over solids can be an aesthetic choice. Typically, solid covers give you a uniform look and appear clean, while textures add a bit of complexity and more visual interest. The color wheel. The color wheel is a relationship between colors that complement each other. This is especially helpful when designing a set. You will want to choose colors that offer a pleasing aesthetic when paired together. The physical building process. Let's talk about some of the physical elements that might make up your set. The type of chair used offers different types of personality, so choose the chair that fits the theme of your subject. Please note that a large chair can appear overbearing and diminish the importance of a subject. Stools are a good chair if your speaker will be alternating between standing and sitting. You can get stools that allow you to be the same height as if you were standing or sitting, and these are often preferred. Having your presenter sit in a chair while presenting creates a calmer, more relaxed tone. Standing is typically used when creating a more energetic presentation and is especially useful when the presenter is very passionate about what they're presenting. Podiums are the ground of the stage and can give it a point of reference. These are also useful to hide personal belongings, speaker notes, water bottles, and can showcase your brand or logo. However, podiums have a stigma of being more formal and can also limit the freedom of your presenter. If your speaker likes to roam around the stage, a podium might just be in their way. LED panels offer a wide range of skills to your show. They can show images, be used to light a stage, or be used as visual elements for your presentations. However, they can overshadow your subject by being too bright, and if they're not set up properly, they can flicker with the camera, so please keep that in mind. Projectors produce an extra large image. They are helpful for an in-person audience, but typically do not have a good presence on camera. Projectors also do not perform well in brightly lit areas, so test out the lighting elements with the projector so adjustments can be made. Televisions are helpful to display videos or images of a PowerPoint presentation. Modern televisions tend to be much brighter than older televisions, and the resolutions are also higher. So make sure to test your presentation on these TVs and make the adjustments accordingly. Having your company's product in the background is a great way to advertise. Custom shelves, tables, and platforms can be made in order to showcase your products. Of course, this list is a general overview of the typical items that you can find on a stage or a live stream. And maybe I missed one. Do you have an element or something that is a must-have tool? Let us know in the comments below. In the next video, we're going to dive into audio.